Apache Web Server, applying lessons from physical architecture to enable systems to thrive. Bill Schiano, David Yates, Les Waguespack, Bentley University. For millennia, humans have sought to find order in nature. That search has also manifested in a desire for great architecture. The design of buildings is often reflecting the sense of order that we have in the universe. For centuries, we've been thinking about the architecture, and we have writings going back to the 1st century BC when Vitruvius wrote about architectural theory and what would make great architecture. Our interest lies in what we could learn from that architecture in the construction of information systems. Buildings can stand for centuries. Can we build information systems that can last just as long? To understand this, we turn to Christopher Alexander, noted architect and philosopher, who is best known in the information systems community for his work on architectural patterns that was taken by the IS community and extended into patterns for software development and modeling. In his latest work, Alexander developed a series of 4 books on the nature of order in the universe, and from that he distilled 15 properties of great architecture. Waguespack, in his book, Thriving Systems Theory and Metaphor-Driven Modeling, mapped those 15 architectural processes that Alexander developed for physical architecture into modeling choice properties that can be used in information. In this paper, we apply the 15 principles to the Apache web server, arguably one of the most successful software products in history, and certainly a product that has thrived in an incredibly difficult environment. Over the last 15 years, the need for web servers has grown dramatically, and the number of things web servers are expected to do and the nature of that work has also changed dramatically. And yet Apache has continued to be the dominant product in the marketplace, supported by all leading vendors. Why is that? What is it about the architecture of Apache that has made it so successful? And what can we learn about the application of the 15 properties to that success? To examine this, we took the 15 properties and analyzed the architecture of Apache to map architectural choices made in the design and development of Apache to the properties. As an example, we looked at extensibility, the idea that a piece of software could be doing other things that weren't predicted by the original users. Apache implements extensibility by allowing calls in and out of the system by other developers using what are called application program interfaces, or APIs. These APIs are used heavily by companies that implement Apache to do things that the original Apache developers would never have thought about. We also look at user friendliness. The idea that a piece of software should be something that users would at least gain satisfaction from and possibly enjoy using. When most people think about user friendliness, they are more inclined towards the idea of Apple's design motif, the elegance of it and the simplicity. But for user friendliness in this environment, it means working with systems administrators who are extremely technically adept and are looking to be able to do very complicated things in what they consider to be easy ways. Apache's been extremely successful at that. So why is it that users think Apache's great? Part of it is certainly the functionality, that even over the evolution of the last 15 years, Apache has kept up and allowed users to do what they need to do from a web server product. But it's also about the strength, the ability of Apache to exist that long and to continue to exist. As people adopt software, they want that sort of robustness and strength. How did it get there? We certainly can't claim it's because they were thinking about the 15 properties. They hadn't been articulated at that point. But we do believe that by examining what choices were made by the Apache designers and developers, we can see that good choices related to the 15 properties drove the success of Apache. So how can software continue to thrive? Part of it is continuing to be agile and being robust. The ideas of strength and functionality that we talk about in respect to the 15 properties in the paper. Apache's been able to do this well, even in an environment that required dramatic change to the functionality. But the biggest challenge for companies trying to do this is managing the portfolio of the 15 properties, that making changes to one may have implications to several others. By handling it as an entire portfolio and understanding the interactions among them, companies can be more successful and produce software that can thrive.